Hey everyone, good evening and thanks for tuning in. I'm Cassandra, a Nikon Z creator, and I'm here to bring the Experience Nikon series to you. We're now in the final episode of this series, and I truly hope it has been helpful so far. So, besides bringing you the latest technology advances through Nikon cameras, we also understand that as a creator, you want to be equipped with reliable and efficient tools, which plays a critical role in producing quality outputs for your work to stand out in the crowd. For one, having trusted and reliable Nikon cameras such as the Z6 or the Z6 II are both great multimedia powerhouses to amp up your craft, thanks to various features such as the 8-bit 4K UHD, 10-bit N-Log, and 12-bit RAW video capability, all available in a single mirrorless system. And aside from your camera, we know that there are many other tools needed in your workflow to complement your storytelling, from lighting, audio, to production software, even right down to the storage of your files. They all come together as part of your creative ecosystem. And this is what the Experience Nikon series is all about: creativity and collaboration. So since the start of week one, we've gone through most of the production tools needed. And there's just one more thing needed before you are all set for the shoot. That is an external monitor and recorder. So photographers have long known about the benefits of RAW for stills. So in this finale, we have on board Brendan from Atomos to unveil the power of ProRes RAW and its advantages. So over to you, Brendan.
Hello, everybody. Hi, Cassandra. Thanks for inviting me today. I would like to, just a moment, let me share the screen. Okay. Yeah, I am Brendan from Atomos. Today, I would like to cover a few topics, but firstly, thanks for inviting me today for the Experience Nikon session. I wish to cover the benefit of an external monitor, the advantage of external recording, the useful monitoring tools, and understanding the benefit of ProRes RAW. Besides a trusted camera, there's also so much more that we need when it comes to filming or shooting a video. So what is Atomos? We are a global software and hardware technology company that creates, develops, and commercializes groundbreaking products for the growing content creation market. Our aim is to give video professionals better monitoring and better recording quality in a single device. In short, we connect the imaging world with the computer world, with consideration of what's happening in post-production and at the same time what's happening on set. So basically, the idea is a decade ago, Atomos introduced the first Ninja for ProRes recording. ProRes was then a codec that's developed by Apple as a 10-bit codec, which resulted in much more color shades when working with post-production tools. So ProRes RAW are larger than the usual H.264, but comes with additional benefit because they are already loosely compressed. So your computer GPU doesn't have to put additional efforts to decompress the data for processing when footage is open in a media player or import to any NLEs for editing. So the Nikon mirrorless camera systems have quickly grown into an important new camera line since the first units launched in 2018. The Nikon Z6 was the world's first camera to record RAW over HDMI with the Ninja 5. Three features in that model, which I think is very helpful to creatives, are the high resolution sensors, the 10-bit video output, and the eye autofocus system, which I believe are now all enhanced with the new version 2. So mirrorless cameras have the advantage of usually being lighter, more compact, faster, and better for video capturing. The biggest advantage of going full frame is image quality. Full frame sensors generally produce better quality images at higher ISO sensitivities. So shortly, I will show you a roughly 3-minute video shot on a Z6 with the Ninja 5 and recorded with ProRes RAW. Working with Nikon, we formed an affordable state-of-the-art cinema setup, which is also the first at any price range to feature a full-frame RAW video with image stabilization. So this opens up to much more new possibility of shooting handheld RAW video. This is the Ninja 5 that's in the video. So almost all mirrorless camera have limits on how long we can record for, and the footage is usually compressed to squeeze into memory cards. So by using a combined external monitor and a recorder unit like the Ninja 5, not only you get a better view of what's going on, but tools to help you to set your camera accurately in terms of focusing and exposure. The Ninja 5 can improve the level of details, of image details that your camera already captures, but we leverage on the fact that your camera will often capture much more picture details than what could be recorded using an internal codec. So why a Ninja 5 with the Z6? Firstly, the monitor side of things, there are much more benefit than to just having a bigger screen to see things with. The ability to see, to share your shot on the larger screen makes it easier to spot any distracting objects and check focusing precisely. It can also help you to better visualize the way your final footage will look, helping you to make better creative decisions, such as choosing how much depth of field you want in a shoot. And you get better colors and details. The Ninja 5 is capable of 1000 nits of brightness. This allows the monitor to display 10 stops of dynamic range. So a good example of brightness is the last iPhone 11. It's about 600 nits and max brightness. So it's a good estimate. So the 1080p pixel screen will definitely show fine details image and is far better than your standard camera screen. And of course, don't guess, just see the images. Recent firmware upgrades, we added frame markers for social media. Social media frame guides for Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram videos are now available. We cater to the popular square, portrait, vertical, and landscape aspect ratio for such platforms. We also added a night grid overlay, which is a helpful function for applying the rules of thirds theory to image composition. So it all comes with all sort of, the Ninja 5 is well packed with features to help you to get the best monitoring quality out of your videos. Zebras, false colors, and focus peaking. So I just want to highlight a few. Focus peaking is an important tool. It works by detecting the edges of higher contrast in your scene. Therefore, those are in contrast, and highlighting them in a bright color, usually of your choice. If you can see my screen, you see the tower it's a bit of red. Those are the things that are in focus. So the next thing will be false color, also known as the predator vision. So in the recent update, Ninja 5, we also added a generic IRE scale with values. So basically what happens is false color assigns different colors to areas of different exposure in the image, instead of showing what part of the image that are overexposed. So it gives you a much more complete picture of what's going on in the image by using a range of exposure values. So there's a scale on the left-hand side, if you can see on the screen. So in general, overexposed element will usually display in red, and underexposed element will display in blue. So such information you can use when setting exposure during a shot, example like sunset, sunrise, or really low light scenes. So on the monitoring scopes, we have the vector scopes. Vector scopes is used to measure the color information in a video image, while waveform display the brightness or luminance of a shot, regardless of colors. So everyone sees things differently. So these scopes are useful to provide an assertive way to evaluate the shot. Of course, Ninja 5 supports inexpensive and reliable SSD because they are quicker and much more affordable storage solution for your media. So it's worth mentioning that shooting a 1080p in ProRes on a 500 gig drive gives you probably about 7 hours of recording time. Using the same drive but recording in ProRes LT gives you almost 10 hours. So Apple ProRes RAW, it's a powerful new codec for recording and creating stunning images that are often preserve quality while maintaining performance. So much of the complexity of working with RAW is minimized with smart automatic functions that makes it easier for novice and experts alike to achieve excellent results. So by being able to use the raw image sensor directly into NLEs during post-production gives you much more control over the processing of the image or the video. So the real value of RAW is actually the high bit depth rate what makes it possible to do massive corrections to things like the white balance and ISO as if they have been changed in camera. So it combines all the wonderful in imaging and all the effectiveness in processing. So right now, Atomos now have probably about 20 camera models with ProRes RAW compatibility, and explained earlier in the slide, Nikon supports the first RAW over HDMI with the Z6. So in recent times, ProRes RAW is gaining traction to establish itself as a standard for RAW video capturing, with all the 7 major companies having announced support for RAW over HDMI. So this is an essential piece of information because it allows filmmaker to record high resolution RAW from affordable cameras to get the high-end result. So by recording ProRes RAW, it allows user to import, edit great videos with raw data straight from the camera sensors without slowing down the edit, just like ProRes. So currently, Atomos records ProRes RAW in 2 qualities: ProRes RAW and ProRes RAW HQ. So after all those, we need to talk about the bit that I've been speaking about. So bit depth rate, it refers to the color information stored in the image or video. So the higher the bit depth rate of the video, the more colors it can store. So example, in the 8-bit image, you can have about 256 of red, green, blue RGB. So, but in the 10-bit image, you can have about 1024 shades. So most camera will usually record 8-bit video internally. So if you are someone who shoots video and posts it directly without any post-production, probably 10-bit is not necessary. However, if you have an 8-bit image, but you want to stretch the saturation or the contrast more evenly for some reason, the processing software may not have enough data, and it will tear parts of the picture. As a result, that's why you see what they explain in like kind of bending in skins, human skins and images. So when such processing is needed, 10-bit is what you want to have if you are looking for beautiful processed videos. So the basic train of thought is the higher the bit number, the higher the quality of the video. Bits give you an idea of how much color is being captured during filming. And this will become more and more important as the HDR screens are better able to show highlights correctly. So example, the even screens starting from last year, the UHD TV screens, and even the latest iPhone, they are all having 10-bit screen. So by capturing raw sensor data, more details and dynamic range can be preserved for editing, like extending brightness and shadow details. ProRes RAW details and dynamic range makes it ideally for HDR project and works. There's so much more details that we can dive into while explaining raw video, but I hope this is enough of an understanding which you will feel comfortable working with the format or knowing when to use it. So I would like to show just a short clip to demonstrate the highlights recovery in ProRes RAW. There are much more video examples in the Nikon or the Atomos YouTube channel, which will show you an even better explanation or extended video. So you dial down the exposure. Yeah. So of course, at the time when ProRes RAW was launched, it wasn't supported by Adobe, Avid, or anyone else. So if you want to take advantage of ProRes RAW, you have to be a user of Final Cut Pro. Since then, Adobe, Avid, Glass Valley, and others have supported the format in Windows or Mac OS. Adobe recently announced import support for ProRes RAW for Intel and AMD GPUs, which means that ProRes RAW can now be imported across both platforms with all the major GPUs supported. We would like to think that this is a positive step in the right direction. And also earlier this year, Final Cut Pro adds ProRes RAW camera adjustment settings. So, settings adjustment. So what happened is we, of course, continue to believe that devices supporting ProRes RAW will receive updates to allow adjustment of temperature, ISO, and exposure offset in the sensor data in the near future. I'd like to speak a little bit on the Shinobi. It's a Ninja 5 more affordable cousin. So the idea is Atomos wants to make the Shinobi a monitor that is easy to use with smaller mirrorless camera, and keeping it light is a big factor of using it for vlogging and on-the-go content creation. So it's basically a Ninja without the recording. A Shinobi, it's loaded with all the tools, just like the Ninja 5, to help you get the shot in focus and expose correctly, and with audio monitoring. Okay, so all good things must come to an end. Thank you again for the time and your attention given during this audio. I just joking. So if you wish to find out more about Atomos products, please visit our website or our social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And I would like to talk a little bit about the atomosacademy.com. This is a brand new destination. It includes videos and articles from leading cinematographers, creators, and educators. The content is focused on Atomos ecosystem and the utilization of ProRes RAW, as well as news and demonstrations of the latest Atomos gears. I believe this will be a great resource for novice and experts alike. Thank you, Cassandra.
Thank you so much, Brandon. Well, I have a couple of questions for you before I can let you go.
Oh, okay.
So, firstly, I'm just wondering, what are some of the biggest advantage of the ProRes RAW over the N-Log profile?
Okay. So, this is something that is, firstly, they are both different things. So, example, ProRes, the raw data, there's no video processing baked in. And it has to be converted to video for viewing. So if you see examples on the website, you have to convert into some kind of log. So, and of course, log is a video, and they have things like white balance and white balance baked into it. So they are not really the same, but they are both designed to get the most information out of the sensors. So basically, RAW gets everything from the sensors has to offer. So, and logs are designed to get most of the tonal range out of the sensors, but they generally have the same application. Both methods, they empower you with extensive creative control in post when grading the image. So, and of course, they both accommodate a move into the HDR and wider color gamut. But most importantly is RAW just gives you much more flexible, giving you much more flexibility in this.
See, exactly like the raw files we have for stills, right? You expand more possibilities.
Correct. Yes.
Thank you for clarifying. One more question is, with the Z6 tool that's out now in the market, what kind of support can we expect from Atomos?
Oh yeah, first, congratulations on the new Z6 and Z7 launch. So having said that, I believe we announced that we will be supporting, we are in the works of supporting the new Z6 and Z7 tool. They are able to output up to 4K 30p over RAW over HDMI. So if we combine it with our Ninja 5, yeah. So we don't have to wait that long, I believe.
That is very exciting to hear. Thank you once again, Brandon. Thank you so much from Atomos as well for coming on board with us tonight. It is really exciting to know that there are many industry firsts in this collaboration between the Nikon mirrorless system and Atomos, helping to elevate creative output for many aspiring filmmakers and creative content creators out there. And with that, this is a wrap for the Experience Nikon series. And on behalf of Nikon Asia and our brand partners, we want to say a huge thank you for your support. So from week 1 to week 7, all the way. And most importantly, we hope we have inspired you and provided some great insights on how you can integrate your Nikon Z cameras with these tools we have introduced. And now it's time to take your video productions to the next level. Thank you, everyone, and hope to see you again.
Thank you. Bye-bye.